Hello, welcome back. It's another episode. It's a No Qualifications podcast with Kizza and Kev. It's, what are we now? Episode 13.
Lucky for some.
Another special one. It's me, Kev, in case you didn't know. 50% of the podcast, of course. 50% of the namesake. Joined with me, as always. It's the one and only. It's he is still under the weather. He's still crook. He still sounds like someone's given him a quick and swift punch square in the throat. But he's made the trip. He's joined us. I've poured him a little cheeky whiskey actually, so that might sort him out. But it's Kizzasaurus.
G'day. Hey. I sound like Darren Lockyer.
You do. Yeah, you do.
Can you hear me well enough?
You are a little, let me turn you up a bit, actually. Let me just turn you up. How, mate, how are you feeling? Because you do sound a bit crook still.
Speaking of 13, I sound like I'm a 13-year-old boy whose voice is cracking.
You do, yeah, far out. Maybe we should have postponed this bad boy.
No.
But we're,
rain, hail or shine, baby.
Yeah, well, you've committed. I'll give you that.
But before you go too far, Kev,
yeah.
I have something.
Have you?
For you and the viewers.
Are there? It's true.
It's our young Kevin's birthday today.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
What number? 31?
32.
Oh,
yep,
welcome
32.
to the club.
And are you older than me? I thought you were younger than me.
No, 87, February.
Oh, okay. You got 4 months on me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Respect your elders.
Very sorry. I'm sorry, Nanny. No, 32, mate. How am I feeling about it? I feel, you know what? I feel like I haven't probably achieved as much as I want.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Lay the boot in there.
No, it is funny because you start to, when I turned 30, I did legitimately start to sort of think, fucking hell, what, like, you know, okay, what am I going to do? What's around the corner? I think we had we were about to have our first bub, but, you know, but that's just the inner talk.
Maybe that's what's wrong with me. I turned 30 and I was like, oh yeah, and I didn't have any thought. I didn't have any crisis.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. No. I think that's a good thing. I would love for my brain to just
switch off.
Just be quiet for once.
You are a thinker.
I'm a big thinker. yeah, I know. Well, I was talking to a mate of mine this morning, to Jimmy, who's been on the podcast as our Tinder expert, who's mad.
Tinder fella?
As our Tinder fella. That's right. Yeah, episode 8,
7,
something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. And he was sort of saying, you know, happy birthday, mate. You know, blah blah blah. And we kind of got onto the topic around like children and things like that. And he said, you know, he goes, oh, how's the sleep? You know, with young little Brycey, he's 8 weeks now. And I said, mate, to be honest, like it's good because I'm actually still in the spare room because I'm up early commuting and whatnot. So, but he's sleeping pretty good. And he's like, oh, you know, you sleep pretty heavy anyway. Like, you know, because we used to, you know, live together. Not as sexy partners, just as friends, partners in crime. But I said, mate, actually, you know, I sleep so light now, like so incredibly light, because you're waiting for any noise. I said to him, like, I get up every 2 or 3 hours, check if the smoke alarms are working still, you know, hear any noise. Just, you know, oh shit, is someone coming in? Like, who's here? I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. Got your bat?
Yeah. Well, I'm an alpha, see, Kizza.
Yeah, okay.
I'm an alpha.
Assert the dominance.
Yeah, well, I'm an alpha at night if there's a noise. During the day, I got nothing, mate. I'm just one of the kids floating around. Oh, Jess, can I have a sandwich? I'm hungry.
You, Bryce, and Lola just sitting there on the lounge.
Crying. Yeah. She's in the kitchen. I'm hanging off a leg. I want a bicky. Cuddle.
If there's a bump in the night, that's you.
I do. Absolutely. That's up to me, you know. And I sort of think like, oh, if it's out the back, if it's serious, I'll hear my dog. Obviously, you know, we've got the dog, Millie, and she's not afraid to have a bit of a bark at someone.
No.
And actually, I'll tell you a quick story. When we lived in a couple of houses before this one, a little suburb on the coast called Womberall. And we had just got her from the pound, and she was a rescue, and she was a bit of a fruitcake to say the least. And so I
do remember that she was very timid.
She was a bit skitty, yeah.
Didn't want to borrow anyone.
Yeah, but you know, like we gave her lots of love and we really brought her around. Yeah, now she's an amazing dog, but for the first sort of maybe, especially week, she hated me. She hated me until it literally got to the point where I like stared her down and I said, sit down, be quiet. And then she sort of went, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Cool, I'll be your friend. You must be the boss. And we've been best mates ever since. But
so you taught Millie toxic masculinity.
I did. Yeah. She's going to... I'm waiting for litigation actually to come through. Yeah, hashtag me too. But... yeah, so she was a bit skitty, and we had one of the next door neighbour was, he must have been like digging like a bit of a trench or something like right on the boundary, on the fence line, and he had his hand underneath the fence trying to like scrape some dirt away, maybe from a pipe or something. I was watching her, and she's like looking at his hand, and obviously she didn't know, oh, this hand is connected to a person on the end of this.
It's a toy.
And all of a sudden, she's bit him.
Oh, really?
Like she bit this guy, but in a bite of like, hey, what's that? Who dat?
Yeah.
Not like
this is Millie, who dat?
Not like I'm going to tear this thing, finger from finger.
New neighbour, who this?
Yeah, new neighbour, who that? And anyway, she's bit it, and all of it, and I heard the guy go, "Oh fuck!"
Oh, really?
And I thought, "Oh shit!" And I went in, and I said to Jess, "Millie's just bit someone." And of course, we were a bit worried, and all of a sudden we see this guy come around the corner and up onto our front step, and I kind of had, all these things running through my head already, like.
Do I get on the defensive? You bit her first.
Yeah, 100%. You provoked her. You groped her. I saw you. She was standing in line waiting for a drink, and you thought you had this really cool bar energy. Walked up to her and smacked her. It's probably the best that could have happened. All this sort of stuff. Or simply, no, she didn't.
Or you were digging a pipe and she bit you.
Yeah. Or, well, mate, don't put your hand under onto our side of the fence. Simple as that. But anyway, he came up, he knocks on the door, and I'm like, oh, g'day, mate, how you going? Like, just pretending that,
Nice day.
Bloody good day for it, isn't it? And he goes, oh, g'day, mate. Look, I'm actually just trying to dig a bit of a trench there beside the boundary line, and I kind of just need to get onto your side just to clear it away. Do you mind if I just come through and, come out the back and just sort of scrape it away? And I was like, yeah, mate, no worries at all. Anyway, as he came out the back, he sort of said, oh, is your dog all right? Is she friendly? And I went, yeah, mate, she's friendly.
I do like that he wasn't a dick.
No, he wasn't a dick. He didn't say a word. Yeah, right. And I sort of thought, I kind of was looking at his hand as he was like, man, there wasn't a mask.
It's got a rag wrapped around it. It's bleeding.
Yeah. He came over. I'm like, oh, geez, mate, what were you in an extra for Jaws, were you? But yeah, I don't know how we got onto that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, she had a bit of a go.
You just made an excuse to tell us she was a rescue.
She was a rescue. She rescued us.
We're vegans.
Yeah, we're vegans. Actually, you know what I'm doing? This will spin you out. I am eating vegetarian next week.
Oh, fuck. And that thus concludes the podcast. It's been a great run.
Do you want to know why I'm doing it?
Just cause.
I don't know why. Look, I think I just want to do it.
If we're laying it all out on the table.
Oh, here we go.
I'm a bit like that now.
Yep.
And I'm becoming so empathetic towards animals. Like those ads on Facebook and the telly. Yeah. Where the cattle is like squashed in, and I'm just so like, oh no.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'll end up there.
Yeah. I grew up on a dairy farm, as what we alluded to last week, and like I had this argument once with this fucking idiot I saw at a pub, and he was carrying on with the typical vegan stuff. And if you want to be vegan, fine. And if you're coming from it from a point of view of, I just say, empathy for animals, I get it. Like, I really get it. I don't believe animals should harm. But he was telling me how it was on dairies. And I'm going, listen.
What, just taking their milk?
Or, how we treat the animals and all this sort of stuff. Okay. And I'm saying to him, listen here, you fucking idiot. Like, each animal is worth thousands of dollars to a farmer.
Yeah.
99.9% of farmers look after their animals so well, so incredibly well. They feed them well. Okay, sure, they take their calves away. They take their calves away when they're new, and like, okay, that's terrible. But don't drink milk then.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's very hard for me to I sort of just get my food and go and don't think too deep into it because I know that I'm the type of person that will think about it too much and just I'll end up a vegan or vegetarian.
Yeah. Well, it's like, mate, obviously with kids and stuff now, it's any news that you read or that you see, it's all about You know, like there was that terrible news of those kids with the fire, and you know, everything that you read is all about, you know, poor children. And I can't read it. I literally can't read it. Like, I think I walk along the street and I just think, you're a pedo. Yeah, everyone's a pedo. Yeah. Everyone's statistically, I'm probably meeting half a dozen pedos a day.
Well, you're a businessman, so you're meetings all day.
Yeah. And it's like, do you remember those, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but do you remember those little yellow safety houses when we were a kid?
Yeah, neighborhood, not neighborhood watch, but there was a green one as well that had like the police, like there was 3 faces, and then I do.
I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, well, you couldn't have that today. I think like that's Ralph Harris's calling card.
Yeah. That's like dropping rose petals for him to the front door.
Absolutely. Yeah. Follow the yellow brick road. You know.
But going back to your point, I know that you're a father now 2 times over.
Yeah, I've made 2 humans.
And good on you. And
2 from 2.
So far, they're pretty good. But if you watch A Current Affair, everything is bad. Like some of those shows.
It's the opposite of the Lego movie.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm not going near a mechanic, a builder.
Yeah.
I'm not going near a massage therapist. My hair was bleached beyond, so it's falling out. They're done. Mechanics are all dodgy.
I watched this thing years ago on A Current Affair, and they took these cars to a car wash. So these poor immigrants are probably on $4 an hour or something.
Doing their absolute best.
Yep, absolutely. And they put $100 note under the back seat. Under the back floor mat.
I think I remember this. See if it was there.
And they filmed it.
Yeah.
And it was this big expose on the car wash industry. I'm like, are you fucking maniac serious? Like, you've got these journalists that are probably earning, $150,000 plus a year.
Went to uni forever.
Absolutely. Completely detached. And they've got poor Emmanuel trying to wash their Range Rover, finds $100 and goes, oh, you know what? This might actually pay the rent and feed my children this week.
Exactly.
I'm going to take the risk and then they catch him. It's a sting. He loses his $4 an hour paying job. And it's like, good on you guys.
Cut back to Tracy at the desk, and she's just the smuggest bitch of the world.
Yeah. Yep. No one knows I'm a lesbian.
With the A Current Affair, if you sit in a doctor's office long enough, someone walks in with a neck brace, collar brace thing, and instantly they could have had a horrific accident or any number of things. Instantly, I'm like, is that real? Is it? Or
you just yell fraud.
This is how bullshit. And then you're almost that's how ACA's conditioned us. Everyone's dodgy. Everyone's a fraud.
Yeah.
No wonder everyone's so damn cynical.
Oh man, as I said, I just walk past everyone going, pedo. Don't trust you.
I've seen those Netflix specials.
Yeah. How to Catch Gary.
Oh, not those Netflix. The other, anyway, about them and how they're worried.
Dark web. You've been hanging out on the dark web again, Kizza.
I bought a liver.
Hey, I thought we could just chat about, because obviously we had Will Anderson last week on the pod.
Yeah.
Which was, it was so sick.
Legend.
Yeah, he was such a cool dude, and I know we did like the intro, kind of how it happened, but I wanted to talk about because obviously we know what went on afterwards. We
just pause there and then leave it the episode next week. We know what happened after the episode.
Yeah, back to
next week. That's an ACA move.
That's true.
Will Anderson assaults. No, actually, I won't do that.
Yeah. Next week, Doctors Without Borders. Have they really got borders? No, we So to sort of fill people in, if you haven't listened to the episode, go back. Absolutely have a listen to it.
Stop right there. Do not listen any further.
Pause this one. This one will be shit. Go back and listen to Will Anderson. But no, it was such a good interview. There was a few hiccups though. And as we kind of talked about over the last few episodes, if you sort of started to get to know us, I am the highly strung member of the duo, and Kiz is much more relaxed.
Jesus.
I tend to stress about stuff, but I guess, I don't know, maybe it comes from a good place.
I found that I'm a lot like Jess, your partner.
Yeah.
We both were saying the same things at the same time.
You both have vaginas.
I walked into that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you there was an incident when we were packing up. You're like, hang on a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And you go very quiet and you're deep in thought. And I'm just like playing with Lola. I'm like, what's that? Who's that? Is that bananas?
You're like when Daddy's angry and it's very awkward and you don't want to talk because maybe you'll make him angry.
But I could sense straight away. I'm like, he hasn't said anything yet, but he's very quiet.
Yeah.
And he's playing with the stuff furiously.
Yeah. Well, for those wondering, we did the recording. It was about an hour and 50 minutes worth of recording. So it was a big interview and a big deal, obviously. Anyway, first thing I did was I saved it, and I saved it in two formats. I saved it in the format that we used to record in, and then I saved it as an MP3. Anyway, I thought, we'll quickly have a listen, make sure the levels were all good, blah, blah, blah. And I pressed play, nothing. Absolutely nothing. The wave file, like everything on the screen was there. It was telling me there was a file there. It wasn't playing. So I started to. I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. I probably, I don't know, maybe a breakup in my early 20s might have been a slightly better feeling. But
see, I instantly go the other way. We're polar opposites.
I know you because you go, nah, Kev will work it out.
Well, a little bit, but I feel like, okay, I go, we've got contingencies. I go, I pretend if this was lost, that's horrible.
Yeah.
And what do we do then? And I'm like, okay, look, we've got cameras, we've got phones that we've recorded with.
Yeah, the audio off the cameras.
Got to be horrible.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But it's not like we lost the file and it's like we're telling, no, we definitely did interview. Yeah, sure you did.
Well, see,
we do have things there where you're, and they're both right, and you go the other way. You're like, no, I need to fix this immediately.
Yeah, I'm half empty. You're half full. Yeah. Well, because obviously it was a big deal for us and it was a massive deal for me personally. I know it was for you as well. And
I was pretty hungover too. I just wanted to go home.
No, I wasn't. I was fine. I had a couple the night before, but I was more lack of sleep because I actually couldn't sleep because I was worried about something like what happened was going to happen. I think I manifested it. But so I on the way home, because obviously we went to Newcastle, so for the hour and 10 drive back home, I couldn't even eat lunch.
Was that a fun ride, Jess? Email me.
I know, the poor thing. And I really try my best to not, like if I had a bad day or something, I try my very best to not be like grumpy around the kids or anything like that. So
it'd be so hard with this though.
It was so hard because I kind of, like I was gutted. I was so gutted. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, I didn't want to use the audio off the cameras. I was actually even thinking, I'm just not going to do it. I was like, we can't do it. Because to me, it was kind of... Because, like, looking back on it now, we've had, like, a huge amount of downloads. You know, it's been incredible for us.
And it wouldn't have been the same if you used my method, like it did get lost, but
exactly, yeah. And obviously Will saw our setup. We've got a pretty good setup, and
then if you deliver that, it'd be like, what's going on?
Yeah, he I thought that it just reflected on us, and hopefully I thought I'm going to reflect on him, blah blah blah.
So there was a few. I left it. I was like, I'll just leave him.
Yeah.
And then there was a few messages back and forth where you were like, still can't find it. This is shit.
Gutted. Yeah.
With a few expletives. Gutted.
I was at Bunnings shopping for rope.
Shit. That's not going to retrieve it.
Nylon. I wanted the slippery stuff.
And then, what, it was about 9:30 at night?
Bro, it was like 11:45.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it was the next morning I saw it. I think I nodded off.
Yeah, because I sent it late.
Yeah. I nodded off, and the next morning, big capitals. I'm like, I know what that means.
Yep. Can I be honest? I had a little cry.
Did you?
I legit got emotional.
Oh, God.
I did. I went into Jess. I woke her up because I was out on the computer. I was furiously looking through this file. I was YouTubing. Westside had a little cry. I got a little emotional.
Kids, get out. I want to hold Jess.
Yeah. Daddy needs some quiet time.
There's some three of you.
Yeah. No, I was so emotional because I'd had a few whiskeys and stuff by that stage, and I'd kind of resigned myself to the fact, oh great, this isn't going out. And then when I found it, I heard Will's voice. I played it and I just went through to like 26 minutes or something, and I heard his voice, and I just was like, oh. Life.
In hindsight, was it a pretty easy? Like we're like, oh, you idiot.
Yeah, it was, because what happened was the way that the program saves the file, it saves it in like a really, really small file and then converts it back to the bigger file when it gets onto the program.
I'm with you.
Because when I saved it as an MP3, I could see it was a 2.5 gig file, which is a big file. I'm like, well, that has to be it. Yeah.
Where the other one just looks like a thumbnail, like a JPEG thing.
12K file.
Like
I'm like, oh, this is nothing. Anyway, I clicked on it and I'm like, oh, this won't be it. And all of a sudden it was there. And I'm like, I was just... in my head, I was just doing backflips. I was like, I couldn't believe it. So we edited the video, we got it up, and then obviously Will shared it, which was good. We had some awesome numbers. It's still downloading as we speak. We've gone through parts of France, in Canada, through England. What else?
I've noticed that too with podcasts is that, especially when you listen to someone like Hamish and Andy who? They're just some up and comers.
Oh, okay.
When they're talking about, they've got like they interact more than anyone, I guess, on a pod.
Yeah.
They always have people from like Sweden, England, Canada, Germany.
Yeah.
They not very often, or they do, but they don't choose to use them. But they've got a lot of engagement elsewhere.
Yeah.
So when you told me that, I was like, who cares about Sweden? I'm like, no, maybe that's the trick. Like,
I think they like. I think overseas embrace Australians quicker than Australians do.
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, I think we're quick to sort of...
We're pretty fucked with a lot of stuff. We're so cynical.
We're so
cynical.
I'm the same. Yeah. I am the same. But
everyone always says that.
Yeah.
It's just like, and there's this whole people can get too big for your boots. It's like, why don't you let people reach for the stars a little bit before you try and bring them down?
I know, yeah. I know. As soon as there's any sort of sense of humility's lost or gone, or there's a slight bit of confidence comes into something, it's like, right, fuck you, you're done. Yeah. I'm finished with you. I don't want to listen, and I hope you fail.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, no, it's been, I don't know. It was good. It was awesome for us. It's really kind of helped with our downloads and stuff. I was pretty stoked.
Helped in that sense, and it also just proved a point that we know what we're doing.
Mix it with the big dogs. Do you think he liked our intro? Do you think he liked our couple of jokes? I think he did.
I think so, yeah. I was a bit like, oh, you're running with that Qantas joke. But, I mean, he's got a whole special about it.
He had a giggle. I was like...
Oh, it's funny.
Well, he liked my dick joke, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go with the Qantas one. Yeah. You know?
No, I think he enjoyed himself.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had any feedback in that sense, but...
Well, I've had some good feedback, like, you know, like my sister and sister-in-law and like friends and all that sort of stuff said like just how like gracious he was and like how humble he came across, because he had some cracking advice.
Oh yeah, massive.
He was such a nice guy. Because I think I've watched it. Like no joke, I reckon I've watched that 3 times.
Yeah, right, straight through.
Just to listen to what he was saying about comedy and you know, and then we had a chat obviously after the pod, and he gave some good advice. I know we do comedy on this podcast, but I just wanted to talk to him about music. I know he likes music, and he was on Triple J. Went to some of the best festivals in the country. Yeah, when they were good too, like big bands would come. Yeah, and I was almost like, oh, can we do a second one, Will? Like music and but I do like getting that insight, because at the end he had some really good recommendations, like music and bands and Netflix specials and stuff. So, same with Mitch too. I've watched all their things that they've recommended because I've been off sick, and it's been really good. Did you? Because what did Mitch?
He told us about the Tom Segura one.
Oh which I've seen.
I mean, you guys are massively into like specials like that. There's a lot that I don't listen to. Yeah. And like when you guys talk to Leah and Theo Vaughn and stuff like that.
You mean like the biggest comedians on planet Earth?
Something like that, yeah. I still have my niche guys, and that's all I listen to. So
but that's good, because I think, like you've told me about a few comedians that I wouldn't have known, because I'm a little bit of a D writer for the popular guys. Yeah. So your Theos and your Seguras.
Segura though, and the way he talked about him, it wasn't that he recommended him. It was the way he talked. He's like, when he's Mitch's partner said, "Oh, that's what he just did. It's like what you." Yeah, and I was like, and he's like, "Oh, no way." He's like humble. And I'm like, "Yeah, I've never heard of him. Is he that good?" And then I watched his whole special.
He's been doing it for like 19, 20 years. He's a veteran.
He's a weapon. Like,
yep.
He's little
good podcast too.
Yeah, is that the one with his wife?
Yeah, with Christina Pazitsky. It's called Your Mum's House. It's really good.
Some of his little nuances and idiosyncrasies. And I sent you immediately the Nike story. I was just like, he's just so damn funny. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and then what's the other one? Is it Bagazzi?
Bagazzi, yeah.
Yeah, so I've watched most of that one. That was really good.
He's good. I like his sort of southern, relaxed way of just destroying a topic.
Yeah,
he's just brilliant. He's really clever.
Yeah.
And I dig him. He's very cool.
Even Dallaire, I've listened to a few things of his this week, and
I got my. Well, speaking of Dallaire, we went viral.
We did a little bit.
We went
legit.
viral. Our one of our posts had over 30,000 views. Nearly, I think it might. Hang on, let us check live on air. Let's check right now. Message from my sister. Thanks, Chantel. Wishing me happy birthday.
Shout out, Chantel.
Yep. All right, let's just have a quick look here.
Yeah, so it was, for anyone who hasn't seen it, Kevin sort of cut a little bit out of his video of his podcast, put it up. It's a pretty funny bit. But then we both woke up and were like, man, what's doing with the Instagram? I just flicked it on and it was 100 likes. And then Kev's like, oh, I'll go have a look. Literally 5 minutes later, he's seen 60 likes. And then it's just gone... It's
gone mental.
Ended up with 30,000 views.
So it's reached 30,954.
Jesus.
It's brought 5,500 people to our page, which is pretty incredible. 2,500 likes, 1,600 shares.
That's insane. Yeah,
that's
just
mental.
From a bit where
just from Dallaire, he actually shared it himself off his page.
To his 1.7 million people.
1.7 mil, yeah. But he's like, because my missus goes, oh, it's funny, but I don't get the context. And I said, okay, let me play some of his YouTube clips. And Dallaire's like such a handsome rooster. He's so confident. He's so fucking funny.
So the joke is that he's vulnerable.
Well, he's just so confident that everything he says, although he's brilliantly written and super funny, he just goes, you're going to laugh at this. And your brain goes, okay. Like he comedians you into submission. He's brilliant.
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah. And so I showed Jess, because he was really big on Vine. So I showed Jess a few of his stuff on like a 15-minute clip on YouTube. We were howling, mate. My missus was losing it. She goes, yeah, I get why you like him. I'm like, are you part of the cult now? She's like, yeah, I'm part of the cult now.
He is a funny rooster, but I just couldn't believe how... We were both saying it was kind of... I was off sick, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. You're in the morgue, weren't you?
They've resurrected me.
When I spoke to you 2 days ago, I was like, mate, were you just at your own service? What's going... You sounded like... Oh, I don't even know what the simile would be.
Well, I went out with the in-laws on across the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Down to Manly, and it's I couldn't speak, and there was like aunties and uncles, like everyone was there and talking. We went out to a really nice meal, and I was literally just on the. It was like a share thing, so I'd go back in a heartbeat if I could have this barramundi again.
Your eyes just rolled to the back of your head.
Jesus, this barramundi, and there was another one. There's like fritters, which would taste like arancini, but everyone can make those. The barramundi and the gnocchi was just just keep bringing it. It's super expensive, but it was very, very nice.
I went out for dinner when we were up in Newcastle the night before we met up with Will. When I say the family and I. Family and I went out for dinner, and we went to this Italian place, and they're going to remain nameless. It was the worst meal I've had. It wasn't cheap. It was nearly $200 for basically just my wife and I, because the kids, far out. That one's 20 months and one's 8 weeks. It's not like they're really going, oh, sweet, we're doing
mains now.
Degustation.
I'll have the matching wines, please.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. I'll have a side of Wiggles on iPad, thanks.
So that bad, was it?
It was fucking horrific.
Right.
It was like, what did I have for a starter? I had like a... they sort of build themselves as like handmade pastas and all this sort of stuff. Now, as you know, I love to cook.
Yeah.
I like to make my own pasta. It's not hard. No. It's not hard. This entree was disgusting.
Really?
It was disgusting.
No good.
It was like, I don't know, it had like bits of like some broccoli and stuff in there, which would have been beautiful, but it was all sour. It was like it had been fermented or something.
Yeah, right.
It was really weird. I wasn't a fan.
You're lucky we're not naming names because we're pretty big at the moment.
Well,
and, we can bring companies to their knees.
Well,
Shut it down.
yeah, shut it down. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. Yeah. So you had some barramundi.
Yeah. Way to simplify.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had food. Cool.
Cool, man. You had a fish.
We went away
Sweet.
for the whole weekend and stayed at this the Q station. And
Oh,
it was
yeah?
just
Took the wife away?
Pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Um,
Throw the old Lego over to your kids, bro.
No, it's in it's an old quarantine station, so we're like freezing.
Quarantine this, love.
I should have been quarantined, so I enjoyed. It was a great night. I just got drunk and ate this great food. And
Is that up on like the hill and you got amazing views?
Yeah, it's
and
out of
stuff?
the head, like on the headlands where they used to check if you had scurvy or something.
Really?
And then you'd
Why
have
don't
to
they
stay
sell that and put some apartments on it? The maniacs.
I think I think it's national park, but
is it?
If someone could,
not for long.
It'd be like. You just be riding.
You wait till Harry Triggerboff gets onto that. Rezones that heavy density.
So you're saying all this is national park?
Yeah.
Because I got some friends in council that.
Yeah. Found a rare frog, did you? Not anymore. Bring the dozers in, boys.
So yeah, I just sat in the corner like a mute.
Yeah.
And then and just ate and drank, which was quite delightful actually. I don't know how we got onto that, but yeah.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. The weekend before last, because obviously we hadn't really caught up much. We went up to what's that bloody farm up on off the M1?
Follyfoot?
No, where everyone goes. Glenworth Valley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went up to Glenworth Valley because they had some like festival thing up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good, I must say. Because Lola, she's at the age where like, mate, loses her mind over animals. Just she loves ducks, and at the moment she loves sharks.
Oh,
she's so because obviously the Baby Shark song.
Oh, don't.
She gets the hands. She does that, and she goes shark, shark, shark. I'm like, righto, but she likes this Asian version of it. She's so inclusive.
She's so diverse.
She's so inclusive. I sort of say to her, Lola, come on. No, but I was going to say something. I won't say.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I'm actually feeling myself. That's good.
Good lad.
And no. So she's right into that. So anyway, we took her up to there, and it was beautiful. They had all food trucks and coffee and all this sort of stuff, and they had a little petting zoo there. So we were there pretty early, and the petting zoo. We just walked in, and whatever. And so she got to pat some bunnies, and there was some little goats, like baby goats, kids. There was some of those Scottish cows with like the really long hair, like beautiful animals. Anyway, we did that, then we walked off and we went and looked at the horses and all that sort of stuff, and went down the other end. And then when we came back, she wanted to go back to the animals. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll take you up there. That's fine. Anyway, we walked up. And there was a bit of a crowd, and there's sort of people there waiting. And I said, "Oh, excuse me, coming through. Excuse me." Walked in. I just sort of opened the gate, and we went in, and then it was maybe 5 minutes, and they said, "All right, that's enough time. That's time. Everyone will, move along." And I thought, Jesus, righto. I was, well, I've only been here for 5 minutes. Jeez, okay, righto, whatever. Anyway, when I walked away, my missus says to me, "Kev, there was a lineup."
You just walked on in.
I just power moved my way straight up the front.
That's brilliant.
And I said to Jess, I felt terrible. I'm like, "Oh, are you serious? I've just like been the most arrogant so-and-so." Walked just straight up to the front. She's like,
VIP.
She goes, "Yeah, a few people said like that classic, oh, I thought there was a line."
Oh, that passive-aggressive move.
I didn't hear him, obviously. I was too busy in the zone pushing in.
Either tell him off, be like, "Oh, you dickhead, you just pushed in," or cop it.
And if someone called me out, I would have been like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but get fucked. I'm still going." No.
And you have a half sleeve, so
jacket's on, so I was covered up. I had my new Akubra on, actually.
The Akubra.
How dare you laugh at that Akubra? I love that Akubra.
Bloody, you were in Glenworth Valley, you hipster.
I know. I love it. I actually, know what I got for my birthday, Kizza? Which some eagle-eyed viewers would have seen this last week. I got my new Jordans.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Mousy from episode 9. There's a mouse in the house.
Mouse. He was so proud of you.
Yep. Jordan 1s.
Yep.
I went with a relatively sort of subtle sort of colorway.
Oh, look at he's using the terms.
Thank you.
Mouse is grinning listening to this.
I got black and grey with like a bit of an orange sort of up around the top. and they come with orange laces as well. So if I really want to zhuzh those bad boys...
They did look pretty dope, to be honest. You did pull them off.
Thank you. And I was concerned if I was going to pull them off or not, because as we talked about before, us more thicker boys tend to look like a rhinoceros wearing high heels sometimes.
No, I got to get on the train.
You have
I got to get my
Well, I tagged you in a set the other day on
They
Insta.
look pretty good too.
Never responded, whatever.
I've been dying.
Made me look like a fool.
I'm dying.
But they were the style you like. What were they ones again?
The Off-Whites. No,
the not Jordan 1s. Anyway, boring. This is great content.
Great radio.
Great content.
Great podcast.
Anyway, so I've got my Jordan 1s. What else did I get for my birthday? I got some socks.
Oh, gee. This is full dad mode.
No, yeah, well, that's the point. Yeah, some socks. Jess is like, you're a dad, you got to have socks.
Is this what happens?
Yeah, it's kind of like a joke, serious present.
Oh, okay.
She's like, it's funny, but also you need them. Here's some socks. And what else? A couple of new shirts. Actually, I'm wearing a new shirt. Got a couple of Levi shirts.
Show the camera, sponsor.
Sponoed, whatever. No big deal. Don't want to talk about it.
We've got bolters here, strategically placed.
Bolters. Got some bolters. Thank you, Bolter. I'll tell you what, Bolter's new Captain Sensible mid-strength.
It's very good.
I'm digging it. I'm really digging it, especially for us who don't want to get hammered as we sit here drinking whiskey. Whiskey and beer.
Beer chaser.
It's my bloody birthday.
I'm surprised you went to work. I try and have my birthday off.
No. What are you, 5?
Yeah, a little bit like that. It's been with Naomi for 10 years. It's a birthday week in her books too.
Well, it's a birthday month for me, but now I've got children. It's like, it's my birthday. Is that right?
Birthday hour.
I said to Jess, I'll see you about 9 when I'm back up from doing the pod. I've got some content to create. I've got a world to change.
We are making changes. How viral we went.
Yeah, well, did we get to the end of that? Yeah, we went viral, so that was cool. So shout out to Chris DeLee for sharing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty big. Like, 30,000 views and like thousands of likes and stuff like that. It's when you're trying to build something from the ground up, it's pretty helpful.
I think we got about 120 new followers.
Just in that,
which was cool.
Half day space, but
which was cool.
It was very good. But speaking of DeLee, as I was homesick and I was just watching that, I was watching a lot of the stuff, like I was saying, that people have recommended. Yeah. So I smashed through Chernobyl, which Will recommended.
I want to watch that. Was it? What did you think?
I thought it was really good. And then I went to a barbecue with my family, and I told my brother, he's like, "Yeah, I just read this massive article that it's so factually incorrect that it's like a completely different story." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Righto, you reader. Loser.
So I've wasted my time on that, but I've watched that. I've watched both those specials. But
where did I would have to say, what did you read? Where did you read it? Who wrote it?
Yeah,
because there's a lot of haters.
There are a lot of haters, but he's usually spot on with everything. So,
is he? What's his name?
Justin.
Shut up, Justin.
So I don't actually, because
don't bring your facts around here.
I really like this series. Get your facts out of here.
Yeah,
but no, he's usually pretty spot on. So I was like, damn it. And then I went and read a few things. I was like, normally I'm pretty switched on here. I
really? So that makes me upset, because it's like, let's not let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, true or false, it was pretty damn good series, and an easy watch too. Not the people dying, but an easy watch, as in you can smash through it. But something that neither boys recommended that I've been watching, that anyone listening should get onto, is a show called Barry, and it's Bill Hader. I think I've mentioned it before. I finished season 2 the other day, and it's just like brilliant. And the best thing is it's 8 episodes in a season.
Is that on Netflix?
I think it's on Fox.
I don't have Fox, Kizza. You know me.
No, this is the annoying bit, because a lot of my most favourite shows of this year and last year have all come through.
I'm just a poor HBO. Father of 2, mate. Can't afford Netflix. Not like you high flyers over there.
That bottle of whiskey's pretty pricey. No, but
anyway, you've seen straight through that. Actually,
it'll come to Netflix any minute now. But cool. Easy. 8 episodes that are about 25 to 30 minutes. So you smash it out.
Yeah, sweet.
Very, very good show. And but then I got through everything, and I was like still bored, so I threw on some classics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are we talking?
We're talking The Other Guys.
Yes, and, my missus' favourite movie.
And Superbad was one.
Yes, cool. Does that still hold up?
The Superbad is a really, like, as a story, is really good, and it hits to the heart of like what a lot of male, like, boy teen comedies don't do.
Sure.
There is actually, at the end of the day, they're just both having separation anxiety. Their best friends are going different ways.
Yeah.
You look at it that way, and they don't know how to, like, talk about it, and that's how they end up.
Like my dog every morning.
Pretty much.
Oh, they're going to work.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
So if you look at it like that, it's a brilliant story. It hasn't aged well, I must say.
Yeah,
a lot of the jokes, like saying gay and the F version of that, a lot. And Hangover had a lot of that.
But maybe that's a little time capsule.
Yeah, it is. It's a snapshot of then, but in this day and age, and I hate when people say that, it's this day and age. I can look around a lot of stuff, but it was a bit like every second joke
Makes
had a bit of it.
Cringe a bit.
Some of the jokes were so funny.
Yeah.
And then Other Guys doesn't do that. Other Guys just knocks it out of the park. He's damn funny.
I reckon Jess and I have seen The Other Guys, no bullshit, a dozen times.
Yeah. The whole through line of Mark Wahlberg not believing that Eva Mendes is his wife is like, no, really, who is that lady? And then and then whatever her name is, he's like, bye Sarah, and he's like, I don't think you heard me. Bye.
Whatever. Shut up.
Bye Sarah.
Yeah,
it's just a brilliant thing. And she's like, you come in here dressed like you're homeless, like that kind of stuff. If anyone hasn't seen it in a while, go back. It is so damn
You've
funny.
got me keen to watch it this weekend.
It's very fun. It's good for a winter watch. It's raining. You just want to play on your phone and you just have it in the background. And then I watched a bit of Hangover today because The Ringer did the rewatchables on it. And
did you still like that? I went back and watched that again, and I was like,
yeah, I was a bit like, I get
a bit awkward with it.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward, and some of the again in this day, it's like, but like the Zach Galifianakis little sly.
He's so funny.
I just watch him, and he's like the bit where he comes up to the desk, and he's like, I gotta ask you a question. Did Caesar actually stay here? And the girl's like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, never mind. And then he goes away.
He probably ad-libbed that.
Oh, 100%. And then he goes away and comes back and he goes, just a quick question. Are you guys pager friendly? She's like, what? He goes, have you got a bank of telephones that I can use? And she's like, pardon?
Yeah.
And then it's like, this guy is just, he's
wicked.
Hitting out of the park on that one. But
I sent you, I'm sure I did. I sent you a couple of his Between Two Ferns. He, oh man, I showed Jess a couple of those, and I was howling with laughter.
He knocks it out of the park. Everything he does.
He's phenomenal stand-up.
Yeah, and he doesn't do it as much now.
No.
Yeah, I'd love him to get back into it, but when the Charlize Theron one where she actually punked it, was giving it to him, that was very very
so
funny.
Hot. Feel it. My legs are sweaty.
He's very very.
He's like.
Very good. And there's a couple of, they're all pretty damn good, but the Brad Pitt, Obama, Michael Cera, there's a few good ones.
Even the one with, Michael Cera's good.
When he talks about his brothers had an illness or dying, he's like, anyway, keep talking about your brother. He's like, oh, okay, you asked me.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The one he does with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah,
and they end up getting into a fist fight at the end.
Yeah. So there's some things I've listened to this week. Watched this week. A few new things, and being sick at home has its advantages.
Well, yeah. Last time I was sick, I was out for 3 days.
Yeah,
literally in bed, dying. Women would not know how that feels.
Naomi was hammering me. She's like, why are you moaning so much about this? I'm like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, but I had the flu just before you. And then I was like, no, it's proven. I don't know where I just pulled this out of my ass.
No, I know what you're about to say, and it is true.
Proven that men, if they do get to this level, it takes more to bring them down.
Yes.
And then I started, she's like, that is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard.
No, it's
and then
not.
We started a fight, and then I Googled it, tried furiously to find this article.
I've read the article, and it's a different, it's a slightly different strain
of
flu that men are exposed to, can get that women can't, and it is
I was
actually.
Trying to find this article.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it.
and then I ended up on 4 pages in. I'm like, how badly do I need to prove this point?
Maybe more than what you wanted to. I think
page 4 of Google, it should cover the first 2 if it's real.
Yeah.
And then it's like
you're on Reddit trying to find something.
Maybe I just really am a little bitch.
No, but maybe
she's super strong and just put up with it and went to work.
Just have some bloody sympathy for your life partner and best friend in the world.
It was the saddest scene. I was on laying on bed and Bowie's laying on me, and she comes in. She's like, puts the blind up and gets some sunlight in here.
Oh, that's savage.
What are you doing? And
let me be sick. Let me wallow in my sickness. I was
wallowing big time, man.
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about that before. How women just they just get through it. They just keep charging on.
I know.
But they're not dealing with, the Black Plague.
But that's what it always ends up with.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And so the thing is, because women will go to the doctors early and they'll get onto it early, where we never do. So it always gets worse. And then we go to the doctors, and by that time it's pointless, and just have 3 Panadol and chill.
I was about 5 days in before I went to see anyone. She was there that afternoon to get nib it in the bud, sort of thing. Yeah, it's
like, righto, just relax. Jeez.
I do. One perk was as I was starting to lose my voice, we went on this tour at that weekend away.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the tour guide. She was very thorough with her job, but I made a scurvy joke.
Was she a bit keen on you, was she?
No, just keen on history, really.
Did you throw a joke, like a history-related joke?
Yeah, I threw a scurvy joke.
Throw it at me.
No, she said something. I was like, oh, what are they? Someone in the group coughs because I was just silent. And then the only thing I said all day was, oh, you might have scurvy.
Yes.
Just real bad joke.
No, I love it.
And then she just turned around and looked at me, and everyone else kind of got a bit of a giggle, and she's gone, just shook her head. I was like, oh boy.
Oh, jeez.
I thought I haven't spoken all day. I thought that was a bloody...
I would have high-fived you.
Out of the park, yeah.
I would have high-fived you. I just would have gone, attaboy. Yeah, talk, make it worth it.
I thought that would have been par for the course.
You were like the Kawhi Leonard of the scurvy journey.
I thought, we're on a tour here. Surely there's going to be some scurvy gear.
Jeez. And she didn't appreciate the...
Not at all.
I mean, it's historically correct. It was obviously timed well.
I want my $18 back.
What a bitch.
No, it was a good tour in the end. I learned some stuff.
Hey, I was thinking the other day, I was fluffing around doing some stuff, and I thought I had a couple of things jump into my head about from when this is so off topic, but when I was a kid, and the topic basically was we're talking about dad jokes and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, some stuff came flooding back. Some memories, as they were, came haunting back. And I started to laugh because I appreciate it now a lot more than what I did back then.
So dad jokes from your old boy when you were younger?
Yeah. And so I'll tell you a couple of things that he did that I think you'll appreciate. So we were driving back from Newcastle one day, and Newcastle's a couple of hours away from where we lived, country town, all this sort of stuff. And, we'd probably been down looking at a car yard or something, at cars that we couldn't afford or would never buy, just to fill in the weekend.
Take the pamphlet, the booklet.
Yeah.
I'll have a think about it. I'll talk to the old girl and we'll come back.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I'm one of four, so there's four of us there, and I reckon I was probably 7 or 8 years old. So we probably went from about 8 up to about 14, like in that range, somewhere around there. Anyway, so country town, we never had McDonald's or Hungry Jack's or anything like that in our town. So if we ever went anywhere, it was a real treat to get Macca's. Anyway, so Dad says, "Oh, who wants drive-through? Who wants drive-through?" And we're like, "Yeah, we want drive-through." So we're all pumped to go. We're going to get McDonald's. And like, "Oh, what do you want?" We're all talking about what we're going to get, Happy Meal, all this sort of stuff. Anyway, Dad's like, "Righto, great. We'll go through drive-through." So he pulls in off the highway, comes in at Macca's, and we're just so excited. This is just a real treat for us. Anyway, he goes through that drive-through at what I would remember to be 80 kilometres an hour, straight through it. He goes straight through, turns out onto the highway and goes, "There you go, kids, I've taken you through drive-through."
Oh, that's savage.
And just keeps driving.
That's brutal.
Absolutely savage.
Holy shit.
And then years later we were talking about it, and Dad's like, "Oh, it was so funny. I just remember looking in the mirror and seeing all your faces, so happy. And as we drove off, the change in your faces dropped, your eyes filled with tears. It was brilliant."
Sadistic.
What a maniac.
So did he get you back? Like, nah, we'll go to the next Macca's.
He reckons he did, but my memory is we didn't.
You just live with that.
Yeah, so I'm going to go off my memory because I don't think we actually did. I think he just kept driving, chuckling.
That is savage. That is the early 90s version of savage.
But looking at it now, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, true.
It is absolutely brilliant.
I don't think you could pull that off if Brycey and Lola are in the back.
Yep.
And you did it, and one look from her, you'd be like, "Oh, just joking, back around."
Or drive 4 kilometres up the road into another one.
Where every 4Ks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or another time, my cousin was about 15, 16, maybe 15, around that age. At the age where you start to get very awkward around girls.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I know that.
Still do.
I still get awkward around my wife.
Hi, Jess.
I can't believe you're letting me do this.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, they went. This is another Macca's related story. I feel like this podcast revolves a lot around McDonald's, actually.
My life does, so.
Yeah, we should get a sponsorship. Anyway, so they went through drive-through, and my cousin liked the girl who worked in drive-through at the time, and when they've come up to the drive-through, my uncle, cousin's dad, obviously, realised that this girl was working in the window where you would pay the money and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so he pretended that the car broke down.
Oh, shit.
So
everyone out pushing.
No, he made his young bloke who had this mad crush on the girl working in the window get out and push the car up the McDonald's drive-through.
Just to embarrass him, sort of thing? Or
just purely to embarrass him.
Holy shit.
Pushes it up to the next window, gets the food. By this stage, everyone's like, oh my God, look at him. He's pushing the car. It's broken down. He's pushed up to the next window. They've got their food. He's pushed the car out of the driveway. Yeah, righto, mate. He's literally just turned the car back on. Righto, mate, jump in. Let's go.
I thought it broke down, you bastard.
No, he just did it. Isn't that the best? So
that's your dad's brother?
My dad's sister's husband. So it's like the uncle-in-law.
Okay. I was going to say, if that was your dad's direct brother, there's something up with those two. Get cruel. Those two.
It is so funny. I think that is...
That's pretty funny.
That is the best kind of dad
Imagine
pranks.
Him just... Get out and push. No, I'm not pushing.
And he was going, I'm not doing it. Well, mate, I guess we can't move.
And then you're holding up drive-through.
Exactly.
Shit.
Yeah, everyone wants their hash browns.
You set me homework this week, even though I was under the weather.
I run a tight ship, Kizza. What can I say?
I thought when we decided to do the pod, homework, no. Research, no. And so far I've been doing a lot of those.
Yeah, that was the case until I realised people were actually listening.
Yeah, it's true.
And then I thought,
has that affected your how you go about things? Now that when we look at the download numbers, I'm like, oh wow,
it does. I find myself, I've actually filtered myself a bit. Yeah, right. To be honest,
which is probably for the best.
Yeah,
I listen to what you say in private, and it's probably for the best.
Well, I have I have a day job, so I need to
keep that.
I need to keep that initially. Until this thing really kicks off.
When you said, I don't know, X amount of hundreds of downloads for one of our other pods a few weeks ago, I'm like...
Thousands, but anyway.
Oh, sorry. I was like, okay, it's not just family and friends we make listen.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. Like, it kind of, I think, why? Because I think, I listen to me, and then I think, actually, I do listen to us, because sometimes I just sort of check it, and then I kind of forget that it's me. You've got to, otherwise you listen to your own voice and you go, is that what I really sound like?
I actually feel like I sound better now.
I hate your voice too, man.
Even though it's breaking like a 13-year-old boy.
No, it's actually come good. That whiskey's actually helped it a little bit, I think.
Yeah, a few hairs on the chest.
Yeah.
So the part of the homework was you texted and you said, there's a guy.
Link.
Yeah, send me a link, and there's a guy on, I think the latest, or one of the 2-3 latest Joe Rogan podcasts, Bob Lazar.
Yes.
And he said, give it a listen. And I looked at the description. I'm like, oh, fuck this guy again. Kev's got his tinfoil hat on. He's trying to convince me that the world's flat. And if you listen to a Beatles record backwards, it says satanic messages. And I was like, okay, there's a doco that's on Netflix at the moment. Yep. I think it's just Bob Lazar and then something.
Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers.
That's it. And so I was okay. And I was like, Joe Rogan, that kind of podcast with Joe Rogan's probably about 6 hours. And I don't have that time. Yeah. So I thought, okay, I'll check the doco out. Yep. And I was out after about half an hour. But to be fair, before I go any further, I'm not a huge conspiracy. I mean, like say the JFK thing, I don't consider that a conspiracy. That's a clear cover. I call
it for sure. Those sorts of things. Sure.
People say, we didn't land on the moon. I believe that we definitely did, but I think that they manipulated it to
100%
because they're like, oh shit, we need to plant the flag, and there's no gravity on the and things like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly what I feel as well.
Forth. Yeah. But this one, when you watch the doco, if anyone wants to go ahead and watch it, if you're into this sort of thing, it's like big cutaways and like scrambled vision and then UFOs and then voices and then it's like, what is going on? It's like a uni student project.
Let me say this because you didn't quite do your homework the
No,
right
I
way.
did.
Because
Pretty familiar to year 10 at high school.
because I sent you Rogan's link and I said, listen to this
and
then watch the doco.
You've given me a book to do a book report on, and I've
you've watched the movie. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, because I think the issue was with the doco. I think the guy who was making the doco tried to make it a little bit too much about him.
Yeah.
And he cheapened the whole story.
It made him look like this Bob Lazar guy is pretty unassuming.
Yeah.
A little bit, I guess, nerdy looking.
Let me just, if you haven't seen it, or listen to it. Make sure you do. But let me just give you a quick rundown of what it is.
Setting everyone homework now.
Guys, this will be in the exam.
Pop quiz, asshole.
Pop quiz. But basically what it is, it was a guy who, he's a physicist, and it's from the 80s, and he got a job at Area 51, which is the top secret space in Nevada that who knows what goes on there. There's talk around alien stuff and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, he got a job there, and he quickly worked out that he was working and he had seen and been inside of alien aircraft, UFOs. And I'm not a dummy. And I'm one of the first people to say, oh, fuck off. This is an absolute load of horseshit. You ask my missus, I will call bullshit on things quick smart. But this guy, I believe him. I really, really believe him. I believe what he says. He's been telling this story for 30 years. It hasn't changed. The details in it are so... the details in it that they tried to dismiss back in the day over the last decade have come out and been true. They found an element.
That's the only thing that I was kind of like, okay, I get it. I just think the way the guy frames the whole thing, when you say alien, you think of X-Files and like E.T. kind of looking things. And he was working on, if he comes out and says, I was working on aircrafts that were so sophisticated and had technology that wasn't invented for us yet, that makes more sense to me.
Well, that's what the guy said, but the guy who made the doco
makes it like flying saucer, yeah. And
he made it woo-woo and he cheapened it.
Yeah,
he cheapened it.
I can get that. I can get on board with that. It's anytime someone talks about this stuff, as soon as they start conjuring up the Simpsons version of an alien and things like that, I was just like, I'm out straight away. But I did get a couple of, a little bit of the Joe Rogan. I nowhere near. I was like 15 minutes.
Well, I watched the whole thing, but anyway. A plus Kev.
Class nerd.
D for Kizza.
Nerd.
You'll be repeating next year, mate.
It'll be the first time. But yeah, no. So I when you listen to that guy in a vacuum and just let him tell the story like organically and casually, it shits all over the doco. And you're like,
it does.
Yep. And things that back him up, sort of like they were working with technology that wasn't even close to being invented, or
it's still not it's still not here.
Yeah,
we still don't have it.
Some has been since, but most hasn't. And he's like, and that proves his point. As in, I was working with this, I was doing this, I have proof of that.
Yeah.
And then since then, that technology has been revealed, and then they've come out and said, "Oh, look, we had this technology that no one knew about, and we're just letting you know now."
Well, and the thing that's really sus, Kizza, is they tried to wipe all of his education history. They tried to wipe all of his employment history. So if he's crazy, why would they do that?
Yeah. My thing with the whole aliens and like Area 51, it's so... Why is it not in Uganda or Northern Territory or India or Russia? It's so American. Why is aliens only discovered? They've got all these. This shit's always in America.
He was talking about they were working with some Russians and some other countries, and then something happened. And listen to it, because I won't give it away. I won't spoil stuff. Something happened, and America cut Russia out of it, cut everyone out of it. And he said that he saw these spacecraft. There's 9 of them. I said, I believe the guy, and I might sound like an absolute fruitcake, but I know. Yeah, Kev, right? I have another whiskey, bro. But no, do yourself a favor. Listen to Joe Rogan with Bob Lazar. It is unbelievable. It made me, because I think the thing, because my missus goes, but what, if there was aliens, like why wouldn't they tell us? I said, well, okay, first thing is you would probably go, well, if there's another civilization that is so much more intelligent, why am I going to a job every day that I don't like to buy shit that I don't need? Why am I doing that?
I get that.
The economy would collapse. People would probably be really scared.
You do need to, if it was true, something like that, you would need to keep it under wraps.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I listening to him, I was like, because I'm a skeptic in the other way, as in, I believe everything. That's probably naive of me, but I believe most things, and so many people just, like when 9/11 happened, and then there was formations in smoke, and people were like, that's a sign, that's a something or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, you people are bugging batshit crazy. I can't stand you. Shit like that. Or
I believe science. I believe science, and I believe that the thing, like you talk about 9/11, the thing that with 9/11 that made me go, well, it's just the way the buildings fell. Purely and simply, the way they came down was so uniformed.
Yeah,
it was a bit sus, to be honest.
What's the famous one? It's jet fuel can't melt steel beams, or what? Is
that?
That's
that's right.
Like, and I'm like, okay, I can hear some things,
but also like let's not make our opinions off things off Facebook.
Yeah,
but
that's the worst thing.
As I said, I am a skeptic on things, and I'm not sort of like, come on, let's relax. But when you listen to this guy and you hear him talk, and the thing that also makes me kind of believe him is he didn't want to do Rogan. He didn't want to do any interviews. He didn't want to do this because obviously the government has kind of tried to shut him down. They raid him every couple of years, all this sort of stuff.
He could go missing at any point.
Well, that's what he said, and that's the reason back in the 80s he went out and put it on tape.
Yeah,
because he's like, this is just insurance. He goes, this isn't trying to just.
Is it a point now where he's a pretty old dude, maybe 70s or whatever? He's like, you know what? If they get me, whatever, I'm just going to tell him. He's got nothing to lose. He's kind
of like mid-60s, and on Rogan, how he was talking, you could tell he was very stressed. And he mentioned a couple of times, he goes, look, I'm sorry, I've got like a migraine. And Rogan was, Rogan is phenomenal. He's so good. He's really good at getting people to kind of open up. But this guy who made the doco was there as well, and he kind of started to talk, and it's like, and he was excitable, and he sounded like a batshit crazy flat earther. And he once again, he cheapened it because, he's excited about it, obviously, but it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Let's let the actual expert. Because those guys don't
deal in facts. You just want to listen to Bob Lazar.
Yes.
And say, this is the scientifics of what, the specifics of the science we're using and what was happening and things like that.
Well, see,
but the other thing is, Joe Rogan, when he had Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 on, who's poured his whole Blink-182 fortune into this, what is it, like a spacecraft thing?
Yeah, okay.
I know, everyone look it up. He's just, there is the Joe Rogan thing, and you can just Google search him, and he's pumping his money into alien research, and it's like, geez, Tommy, like, no wonder they booted you out of the band. But Rogan pretty much laughed him out of the place for some of the things he was saying, and I like that because and sometimes Rogan is like, he believes them, and sometimes he doesn't. I don't I don't love a lot of his stuff, Rogan, but when it comes to those kind of people, you can kind of believe him because he asked I think you mentioned today. Yeah, he asked the questions. If I'm thinking something, I'm like, well, what about this? He'll ask it, and so
he was trying to poke holes in it. And, and he even said afterwards, because I listened to a pod of his a couple after with Andrew Santino, and Santino said to him, oh, what do you think about, like, Lazar? And he goes, you know what, like, I actually believe him. He goes, I believe him. He goes, either he's telling the truth or he is way smarter than me and he's conning us all. He said, but, I'd like to think I'm got a pretty good bullshit detector.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm naive with a lot of this shit. And, we could find out in 50 years that, like, all that shit is real, and it's like, whoa.
I don't know. I mean, the last sort of, 100 years, you always hear about things where they've denied. And then when the top secret thing runs out in 50 years, all of a sudden, oh, actually, it's true.
Yeah. I think it's because, I don't know, again, like the filmmaker kind of ruins it a bit for you. The conspiracy people, like the tinfoil hat type, like, you remember the crop circles and putting and certain things people have theories on, and they're like, that's my theory on it, whatever. But when they go too far and they're like, this is a conspiracy. And it's like, oh, everything is a conspiracy.
Well, I think that was with this guy, this Jeremy guy, the guy who made the film, he was in a state of trying to convince you, where Bob Lazar, the guy who actually worked there, he was just like, these are the facts. Believe it or not, I'm not here to convince you. This is how it is. Where the other guy was so excited that, I'm going to convince you, and he was sort of up for the argument when the argument wasn't even there. And it's like, dude, cool your jets, brah.
So yeah, I did half my homework, like we said. I watched
C minus.
I didn't read the book.
C minus.
C gets a pass, isn't it? I'll get a C average. That's
fine. See me after class.
Oh no, not again.
No, it's
But yeah, give it a listen and a watch. The Rogan one.
100%, yeah.
I mean, people are going to struggle with the Netflix thing, but just give it a watch anyway.
Give it a watch after the podcast. Yeah, because you kind of go into it with your eyes wide open a little bit more, and you realise that the Jeremy guy is going to rub you the wrong way anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they've got Mickey Rourke doing the voiceovers, so he sort of talks like this and gets them really going. So
and
settle down, Turbo.
The cutaways and
too much.
It's like like I said before, uni students like second year project
trying to impress the teacher.
Look at this cutaway and there's music and then there's phone calls and then dark shadows.
Check the graphics, bro. Anyway, hey, Kizza, that's another episode done. Thanks for popping in, mate. I know you don't feel good.
I'm going home to bed.
Yeah, go to bed. Finish that whiskey before you go.
I don't think I can.
Oh, what a sook. Tip it in mine then, mate. I'll finish it for you. Thanks everyone for listening. If you could, jump on our Instagram, make sure you follow us. Jump on our YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you want to get in touch, just send us a DM on Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Leave us a 5-star review too, if you could. That helps us. We've actually had a few more reviews, which has been really good. It helps us sort of get into the suggested page and all that sort of jazz. Next week,
check out the Mitch Garling episode.
Yes,
and the Will Anderson episode.
Will Anderson, yep.
2 latest. Yep.
We have we've got an awesome episode coming up next week. We've got a
little out of my lane,
little out of both our lanes, to be honest. But I think he's going to be really cool to have on.
We'll say not a comedian,
but I mean
he could be, but.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Who knows? I think it's going to be sick, actually. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to, we're going to ask him some questions. We're going to put to bed some of our sort of things that we've been wondering about with social media, with Instagram, all that jazz.
I'm going to have my shirt off.
I'm not.
I'm just going all out.
I'm not.
You guys will understand when you see him.
We're talking to a guy who hasn't had a carbohydrate since 1999.
Very fit young man.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, legends. We'll see you next week.
Bye.